You think your mortgage is the biggest financial threat to your wealth? Think again. There is a silent killer lurking in the shadows of the real estate market, overlooked by millions of property owners, and it has the power to unravel decades of hard work. We are seeing a new class of homeowners who have done everything right. They paid off the bank, they own the deed, and they have zero consumer debt, yet they are sliding toward bankruptcy. While you are focused on interest rates and monthly principal payments, a completely different set of liabilities is quietly accumulating in the background. These aren't just minor inconveniences. They are wealth destroyers that turn a paid-off home into a stranded asset. If you believe that paying off the bank means you are finally free, you are unknowingly sitting on a ticking time bomb that is about to explode. The bank may sign the deed over to you, but the financial obligations attached to that piece of land never actually expire. In fact, once the bank is out of the picture, you become the sole target for a barrage of costs that are becoming increasingly volatile in our unstable global economy. For generations, the global economy has been built on a single golden narrative. The home is the ultimate safe haven. We were sold the dream that the day you make that final mortgage payment is the day you achieve total freedom. The logic was simple and seductive. You lock in your housing costs, you pay down the debt, and eventually, your largest expense drops to zero while your asset value skyrockets. In the golden age of real estate, specifically the post-war boom, this model worked perfectly. Inflation was manageable. Municipal governments were solvent. Insurance was cheap, and homes were built with old-growth lumber and solid masonry meant to last a century. It was the set-it-and-forget-it era of wealth building. You could retire on a small pension because you didn't have to pay for shelter, but that economic reality no longer exists. The context has shifted. The safety net has been removed, and the very definition of ownership has changed under our feet. The crack in the armor began not with a market crash, but with the silent decoupling of homeownership costs from inflation. While your mortgage payment is fixed, meaning it stays the same for 30 years, almost every other cost associated with your home has become volatile. We are now living through the era of the silent stalkers. The first is property tax, which is effectively a perpetual rent you pay to the government. As municipal budgets swell and local governments face massive unfunded liabilities for pensions and infrastructure, they are aggressively looking for revenue. They have found it in your backyard. We are seeing a trend of aggressive reassessments, where tax bills spike overnight, not because your income went up, but because the paper value of your home did. We are seeing retirees in paid-off homes forced to sell because their tax bill suddenly exceeds their monthly pension. Coupled with this is the insurance crisis. Driven by climate data and reinsurance markets, premiums in major markets have doubled or tripled in just 24 months. Major insurers are pulling out of entire states, leaving homeowners with forced-placed insurance that costs a fortune and covers almost nothing. You might own the bricks, but the cost to legally occupy them is rising faster than wages. But bureaucratic costs are just the tip of the iceberg. You can budget for taxes. You can shop around for insurance. But there is a physical enemy lurking inside your walls that doesn't care about your budget. And when it strikes, it doesn't just cost money, it threatens to destroy the asset itself. The question is, when the inevitable failure happens, will you have the liquidity to save the house, or will the house drag you under? This is the collapse. Your home is not just an asset, it is a decaying machine. We call this the maintenance mortgage. Every roof has a lifespan. Every HVAC system has an expiration date. Every pipe in your foundation is slowly corroding. In the modern era, homes are often built with materials that fail faster than the solid masonry of the past, a concept known as planned obsolescence applied to real estate. When you rent, a broken water heater is an inconvenience. When you own, it is a $4,000 emergency that demands immediate cash. The disaster scenario happens when these issues compound. A small roof leak that goes unnoticed leads to black mold in the attic, which rots the structural beams. Suddenly, you aren't looking at a repair, you are looking at a $30,000 renovation that insurance refuses to cover because they classify it as wear and tear. Simultaneously, you fall into the lifestyle leverage trap. Homeowners association fees are skyrocketing, and unlike a bank, an HOA can foreclose on your home for unpaid dues or special assessments. You could be hit with a $10,000 assessment for a new clubhouse roof or a road paving project you didn't even want. This is the moment the dream collapses, when the free house starts costing more monthly in upkeep and fees than a rental apartment would. When we perform the autopsy on these financial disasters, we find a specific systemic failure called the liquidity trap. The biggest danger of a paid-off home is that it makes you house rich and cash poor. You may have a net worth of $500,000 on paper because of your home, but you cannot buy groceries with a brick. You cannot pay a medical bill with a shingle. Your equity is locked away in the walls, inaccessible unless you sell the home or take on new debt to access it. If the hidden costs we discussed, taxes, insurance, sudden maintenance, drain your liquid savings, you become financially fragile. You are sitting inside a vault of gold that you do not have the key to open, while the maintenance of that vault drives you into bankruptcy. This liquidity trap is the primary reason why many seniors are forced to return to the workforce or make the desperate move of a reverse mortgage, effectively selling the bank back their legacy just to keep the lights on. The house didn't save them. It starved them. The solution is a radical shift in mindset, from debt repayment to asset defense. You must treat maintenance as a mandatory bill, creating a sinking fund of 2 to 3% of the home's value every year. You must actively fight tax assessments and aggressively shop for insurance to avoid the loyalty penalty. But even a paid-off home isn't the only trap waiting in the modern economy. There is another safe asset class that is currently showing the exact same warning signs of collapse, and millions of investors are blindly pouring money into it right now. Click here to see why this popular investment might be the next bubble to burst.